How are you all? So good to be in your homes again. So glad. My name is Winfred. For those of you who are watching for the first time, for the returning subscribers, thank you so much for watching. For the new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. I'm honored to be one of those that you've invited in your homes together to make wonderful meals, easy and cheap meals. Now, today I want to say special thanks to the gentlemen. The gentlemen, your numbers is growing every day, and I'm so honored that you take the time to subscribe. And thank you so much, my American followers. I see you've taken up the chat. Thank you so much for watching and telling friends. Thank you so much, Ugandans, Indians, Nigerians, people from Ghana, Indonesia, even when I don't see you yet on the dashboard, and all over the viewers. And for those of you who are just watching and not subscribing, thank you so much for watching. I know one day you will subscribe. Remember, subscription is free. Today I'm going to be making cassava. From my previous video, I harvested cassava and I promised that we would be able to make sumptuous meals at home with our harvested cassava. Now, today, this is the day that I'm going to make one of those meals, and join me as we make cassava bread today. Now, this is the cassava that I harvested, some of it, and it's through this that I'm going to make cassava bread, or what some people call fufu. Cassava is a root tuber, and when harvested, for those of you who don't know how it's harvested or how it looks like, please look up my previous video when I was harvesting it. You see how big they are and how they are got out of the ground. Otherwise, these are root tubers. They come off really bigger than this. I just chopped this into 3 because they were really big, and I'm going to make meals out of just this bit. As you can see now, peeling cassava, you cut off one place and then this goes off easily, like peeling mangoes. It should get off easily and leave it nice and white. And once you've peeled, that is the very first step. And as you can see, it wasn't very hard. All I need to do is half it, minus doing anything to it. Then I put it in the water, chop it up into small slices. Reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to blend it. Now, because I'm going to blend it, I'm making it into these small slices. These will be easy for me to blend and make my cassava bread, or what we call in Uganda akawunga ka muwogo. There are many ways of making it. This is just one of them. For those of you who didn't know, this way, yeah, you can do it this way as well. I know many people shy away from preparing cassava bread at home because they say it's tricky and they have no clue as to how it's done. Well, today you're in luck because we will be doing it together, and if you happen to have it at home, whether you're in Nigeria or whether you're in Uganda, America, India, you can do it this way and add it to your menus. Normally this root tuber is tasteless, so you can add anything to it and give it taste. Remember, from the very cassava that we are dealing with, we can be able to make pancakes. Yes, pancakes. If you don't know what pancakes, especially Ugandan pancakes are, we use this same cassava flour to make pancakes. So check out my video on how to make pancakes Ugandan style, what we call kabalagala. You'll see how they come out. We dry up this cassava and use it to make those pancakes. I'll show you how we dry it up and how we prepare it for the process of drying and becoming into powder. But until then, let's enjoy making the cassava bread using the simple way that is a lot easier than many other ways of making cassava bread. Now when I'm done slicing up my cassava like this, I will put it in a blender. So if you have a blender, time to pull it out. And I'm going to use a NutriBullet because it is faster, but you can go ahead and use a blender. You drain it out of the water, put it in the blender. The reason why I'm draining it out is because the first water where I soaked it could be a bit dirty. So I'll have to add fresh water to this in order to make a paste. Now to make cassava bread, you see I'm putting about maybe 3 tablespoons of water, because cassava by itself, it's got some water in there because it's fresh cassava. It's not old. I got it straight from the garden today, so I can always use it. You don't need to add a lot of water. Now time for me to blend this and start the process of making the cassava bread. Blending, this will take like a minute or less. That is it. And guys, this is easy to do at home. If you don't have a blender, you can just get it and put it in a pestle and mortar. It would be a bit tedious, but it can still get you there. Otherwise, the blender is the easiest way, one of the easiest ways, or using a NutriBullet is the best. But I know it could be hard to get a NutriBullet, so you can always use a blender. Otherwise, a pestle and mortar will do the same, but it will take more time. Or a food processor. Now, as you can see, this is what I've made out of my cassava. All you need is about a tablespoon to every blend, and you'll be able to get it in this state. I'll show you how soft this is, so you know that it's not yet boiled or anything done to it. It's just cassava peeled. You don't even have to shred off the first layer of cassava as we normally do handle cassava. You can go straight to chopping it up and then blending. You don't need to, except removing the middle bits, you don't need to do anything else to your cassava. Now, as you can see, I'm trying to scoop out whatever may be left in my NutriBullet, and then I can work with it. Now, I'm going to need a spatula like this, or ladle, that will help me to mingle, and a pan so that I can mingle it. But as you can see, it is all soft and creamy. This is how it looks. And this will make it easy for me to mingle. So there are no chances of crumbs or anything getting stuck, but the niche would be on getting to know when it's ready. So now time for me to go to the fire and start the mingling process. The one that I'm going to use, I dedicated it to making cassava cakes or cornbread. So it's the one I normally use for that, and I don't be alarmed when you see the color of the pan. It is what does that for me. So now you put it in a pan and turn on the heat. Now we are going to start the mingling bit. This calls for a lot of more work than before, an extra bit of work, because you want to get it ready and mingled right. You don't do anything to it until you start seeing some bit of activity like bubbles. Then you know it is starting. As you can see, mine is starting to get bubbles on there. Once they increase, I'll be starting to mingle so that I can make the cake. And you just keep on turning until you see it has changed to another color different from the one we started with. This could take some time, so guys, prepare to spend some time with your pot and your stick. You let it rest for some time, it forms bubbles again, then you mingle again until you get that, it's like a gooey kind of paste. It becomes more stretchy, more gooey. You will see as we go on. Now I'm going to add some salt. This is optional, but remember I said cassava bread is normally tasteless. So because it's tasteless, you add salt to give it a bit of taste. But remember, it's going to be accompanied by a sauce. So that is why I said it's optional. For those of you who don't want salt in there, you can leave it and count on the salt that will come from your sauce. But I've dropped in some, like half a teaspoon of salt just to give it some taste. You could opt to add color or some spices. I wouldn't advise, reason being, if you add color to this, you will not know when it's ready, because cassava, as you see, it starts off white and then it gets to another color that is not brown but creamy, a little bit different from when it's not ready. So you cannot add in anything that changes its color lest you read it wrong and serve it raw. This will be tasty and easy to make. So if you've been shying away from making cassava bread at home or adding it to your menu, this is one way that will quicken up the process and help you make it without any crumbs, because like you saw, it was raw when we blended it. So there are no chances of crumbing. Cassava will cook until the state it looks when it is ready, without making cassava bread out of it. One thing you should be prepared for is it's going to be a bit gooey or stretchy. It will be more elastic than it is here. You see how it changes and what I'm talking about. Many people like serving it with and eating it with their hands, minus the cutlery, where you just dip your hands in there and just go for it. So in case you have it at home and you're wondering, how do I eat it? Because if you made it and it came out the way it will, you'll be probably wondering, do I use a fork to eat? Do I use a spoon? Whichever you want. The important thing is you are able to get it ready, minus hassle. Now, as you can see, all I'm doing is turning it and it's changing color. If you can see clearly how it has changed, and you're about to see the gooiness that I talked about. Many people do not like preparing this because when you have it in a powder form, it is a lot harder to come up to this stage because the crumbs will be all over the place. But when you blend it with a little bit of water and then just mingle slowly by slowly until you get to this state. As you can see, it is not white as we started off initially, but it's a different color from the way we started. And I added some salt, guys. This gave it a different twist. Do you see the gooiness that I talked about? Now you cannot achieve this except you have it blended raw. This is very hard to get to if it is powder form. That is why it's left to the experts to do it, that to make cassava bread. But here we are becoming experts ourselves. Guys, now this is fresh. I got it from the garden today. So I'm expecting freshness all through. And as it is, my cassava is ready. Because if you were to prepare it in any other state, cassava is one of those root tubers that take a short time to get ready. The moment you see the color, you know your cassava is ready for taking off and serving. Now I'm going to use a flat plate to take it off. As you saw, this wasn't hard, but it can be harder if you use a powder. But if you get it fresh from the garden, peel it, minus shredding off anything, you can just go ahead, blend, chop it up into small slices, blend, and there you have it, ready to serve. Now I'm going to show you how I take it off and plate. I'm putting a plate over so it makes it easy for me to flip. I'm going to let this sit and then I'll take off the pan. The longer it waits, the harder it becomes. Guys, look at this. Isn't this niceness? So if you've been shying away from making cassava bread at home, please add it to the menu and enjoy it. Cassava has many properties that could help us be healthier, and it's from the ground. No additives, just a bit of salt, and there you have it. Now, and as you saw, it doesn't take long. About 5 minutes of preparation, and then another 5 of cooking, and you're serving. So if this sits longer on the plate here, it will a bit harden, and I can just get it from there and make a sauce and serve. Now I'm going to show you how I'll plate my cassava bread. You can have cassava bread with just about anything. I'm going to put some beef stew in here. This is leftover, so you can have it with any kind of sauce. You can have it with vegetables, you can have it with lentils, you can have it with chicken, stew, anything that would really pull your appetite. You can always serve this with. Forget about my sauce and just go have it with anything. Add it to your menu. You will thank me later. Now guys, this is how I would plate my cassava bread. You can have it with any sauce. I've used a beef stew, but you can have it with peas, you can have it with beans, anything that really tickles your taste buds. This is zucchini here just to garnish, and the cassava bread and the beef stew with vegetables. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. Until next time, please continue to share links and we grow the subscribers so that we can together make more nice meals at home easily. Until next time, bye bye and God bless.